Go ahead.
Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for being with us this evening, or if you're watching the replay, good to have you here. So tonight's topic, we are going to talk about our circle of influence because I think this is so important because I think a lot of times we don't realize how many people we know and how many people we influence. So I thought this would be a perfect topic. Hey,
I'm here too.
babe.
Ah,
Where I wanted to start off with is first, the average person knows about 600 people. So, as we know, especially being leaders, with our Vital 180 training, it really is great to step one, step two, break down exactly how to get us to our next levels. We have the star planner, the senior star planner. So if you are, reaching for senior star, then of course you want to have that senior star planner filled out and be working towards some of those goals. But what I like in there is when you start reaching those goals, one thing that's suggested is to sit down and make an 100-person list. And when I first saw that, I was like, 100 people? I'm like, that's crazy. But the average person knows about 600 people. So just simply writing out 100 is not going to be that difficult at all. And that's just to get started. And I found just going through my contacts in my phone, going through my Facebook friends, I easily had over 300 people when I was writing out my list. So that is one thing. If you as a leader have not sat down and really wrote out a list, make sure you write out a list. And the reason this is important is because it'll get your memory jogging on other people. So I love in the memory jogger, which is one of the exercises in the training as well. It talks about some different people to think about, like your mail carrier, your hairdresser, especially your hairdresser. When you think about stuff like that, they could be using the oils in their salon. They should be using the oils in your hair when you're getting your hair done, right? So whether it is your nail person, if you get your nails done regularly, that's another person that, again, we can add to our list. Or your mail carrier, or you think about maybe somebody that you bump into and they're just talking about how financially they're strapped for cash. Again, we have something that can fulfill that. We know that we have the best setup when it comes to a business in this country. So thinking and jogging your brain with all these different people that you might not have thought about. Your neighbor, have you spoke to the people that are across, the hall or across the street from you living? Again, all of these people can help kind of jog your brain because we're looking to see how many people we can help and how many people we can affect.
so something really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in just really quickly because Dana hit on something when she talked about making your list. It's actually important that you actually physically write it down. It took me a while to understand why this was so important because I'm just one of those people that I do a lot of things in my head. Like take math, for example. Remember being in school and they'd say, write it out. And I would be that person. Why do I have to write it out? Because I can get the answer. I can get the answer in my head. Well, when you write it out, you have a way to track it. Just by remembering people in your head, it's a little harder to keep track of who you've contacted, when you contacted them, what event or class or party that you invited them to. And also you feel a sense of accomplishment as you're going through your list. So when Dana's talking about creating that list of 100, physically go through it and write out your list of 100 names and then go down and contact them and scratch them off. If now is not a good time, put not a good time and return to them in 3 months and tell them that I'll check back with you in 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's no pressure. I mean, we got to remember too, it's not pressure, but it just helps our brain get to thinking. Because if we can think about other people that, might be dealing with different health issues and they're not quite getting the answers that they're looking for. Again, we have that wellness, we have that abundance. And a lot of people, they just don't know that there's other options. So we want to think about those people we know. And then we want that to be an active working list too. So Eric Worre talks a lot about that too. So when we come encounter with other people, are we adding them to that list? If we can see that we have something that might fill a need that they have. So the average person comes into contact with 3 people a day, 3 new people that they've never met, never seen before. So if you think about that, on average in a year, that means you will have contacted over 1,095 people in that entire year. So again, we want to think about all of these people. We really should never run out of people. So I also wanted to just share, like, when we look at some of the different ranks, on average, how many people you would need in your organization to kind of be there. So for a star, you need about 5 to 10 people. Senior star, about 35 to 40 people. Executive, 95 to 250 people. At the silver level, it's about 125 people to 650 people. I stopped there. But again, when we're thinking about on average, we know about 600 people, that easily gets you right there at silver. So even if, starting off, your destination is to get to silver, bring in, an average of silver is making about $2,000 a month. Then again, going through that circle of influence that we have is going to help to get us there.
I'm going to iterate really quickly. Just because when you think about it, 650 people, if the average person knows 600 people, that's really not a lot. And if someone told you that, hey, I'm going to pay you $2,000 a month, all I need you to do is go out and talk to 650 people. How long would it take you to do that? Mm-hmm. In all honesty, if you knew for a fact that you had $2,000 a month waiting, and for some people, that's not going to bring you home from your job, but it can certainly help change some things in your lifestyle. Maybe you work a full-time job and you want to go down to part-time. An extra $2,000 a month can do that. So the other thing that I want people to understand is granted, 650, even though the average, you said 600 people is what the average person knows, don't get caught on just doing this by yourself. Even though the average person knows that many people, we're talking about team size. So if you're building your business, you're building a team full of leaders. So let's say that you had one other person working with you to reach that 650 people. Well, then now you only got to contact 325, right? Because it duplicates your efforts. Let's say you found 4 people. Well, now, I'm not going to do the math in my head. Maybe I should write that down. But it dramatically decreases the amount of people that you need to talk to. But you should constantly be talking to people, like continuously adding to your list. That 100 name list is just the start. You should really never run out of people. I know I never run out of people. Dana probably never runs out of people to talk to, because you're constantly meeting new people. And as you work through your team and their network, you're going to come into contact with people that they know. So now your list is growing.
Honestly, I get kind of overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting so many people. Or I'll have, like today we had a class, and it's like I get to this point where I'm like, oh, I forgot to invite this person. And I told this person I get back with them, and this person and that person, because it's so many people. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, because I love, again, when we think about this relationship building a business, we're not in competition with one another. It is easier when you can delegate. So again, when we're talking about our team sizes, and we're talking about other people that we are influencing and encouraging as leaders, and getting them building and going as well, their success is going to be our success. The more people you help to succeed in this business, the better off financially you're going to be. So like, for instance, when we look at the comp plan, if you're at the level of silver and you have, let's say, 3 more silvers on your team, you're going to get paid more because you helped more people get to your level. So that's what it's all about. It's about how we can help other people get where they want first. It's about the people first and how we can influence and help them.
And really the reality is, we do these leadership trainings because if you've ever shared with anyone, then you're a leader. And whether you like it or not, because the person that you shared with now looks to you as the authority. They now look to you, if they have a question about a product or the comp plan or something like that, most likely they're not going to pick up the phone and call Young Living. They're going to call you first. So in essence, you will have people that want to work with you and do want to grow. It's just as important, just as we're sharing this information, that you share this information with your team and your people who are sharing, because that duplication and helping to work through their networks is really what's going to help your team grow.
And then along with that, I wanted to talk about fundamental techniques in handling people. So some of these little tidbits come from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Dale Carnegie. If you never read that book, read that book.
Yeah, it's so good. They've revamped it.
That should be on your reading list.
Yep. So I'm just gonna pinpoint 3 key things that I think is very, very important. And honestly, these fundamental things, they're not only important in our business, but they're just important in general in our life. Like just dealing with people. This is how, whether it's your spouse, your kids, I love some of these fundamental techniques in handling people. So number 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Human nature does not like to admit fault. When people are criticized or humiliated, they rarely respond well and will often become defensive and resent their critic. To handle people well, we must never criticize, condemn, or complain, because it will never result in the behavior we desire. So I love that point. And, again, that goes back to when we treat people the way we want to be treated. We don't want to be condemned. Oh, you said you was going to do this and you didn't do that. Well, how do you feel when someone comes to you like that, right? So we don't want to, do the same thing to, those that are in our teams or those that we're working with. Maybe they did say they were going to do certain things and then life happened and they couldn't do it. It happens, right? So how do we interact and treat? Are we encouraging? Are we uplifting each other? Or are we criticizing? Well, you don't never do this, and you said you was going to book this party, and you said you was going to do. Are we criticizing?
Or this is the one that I hear a lot. I thought you said you was coming to my class. Use that because sometimes that shuts people down.
Yeah, they're like, I'm never coming to her class.
Yeah. So use that as an opportunity. Hey, I missed you at the class, or I missed you at the party. And most people will be like, oh, something came up, or, they'll give you whatever reason they couldn't make it. Oh, no problem. But let me know when the next one is. Great. You know what? Because you have your 2 to 4 classes planned, you can tell them when the next one is.
Yep.
And they can come to it then.
Yep. And I would say even today, I had a few people where things came up last minute. I'm going to be there. And then at last minute, they couldn't be there. And they said, you know what? But when is your next one? Well, we already have, our next 2 classes, education classes scheduled in 2 weeks. So boom, Friday, here's the link. Sunday, here's the link. So then they can plug into those if it's really something they're interested in, want to learn more about. Okay, so the second point I wanted to key in on is give honest and sincere appreciation. Appreciation is one of the most powerful tools in the world. People will rarely work at their maximum potential under criticism, but honest appreciation brings out their best. Appreciation, though, is not simple flattery. It must be sincere, meaningful, and with love. So I love this one too, because again, every little thing matters. So if you just have somebody that is consistently, ordering from you, or you have somebody, even if they're not consistently ordering, maybe this month they ordered and last month they haven't been able to order or whatnot, but this month they did order. So then thank you. We appreciate your order. And we talked a little bit about this in our good customer service, but again, we want to show appreciation. So even if it's little things, show them you see them, as far as if you have business builders in your team, if they're ranking up, if they're enrolling new people, if they just hosted their own class, show appreciation for that. See everything that they're doing and make sure it's sincere.
Absolutely. I guess to kind of hit on that point too. Um, right back there.
Okay.
Oh, um, people do appreciate that. You know, they do like the commendation. I know for some people, that makes them feel a sense of belonging, and so in their head, they may already be beating themselves up. Let's say someone was going to host a class for you, and they were going to invite some of their friends, and they didn't get the turnout that they thought or would have hoped that they would have had. Well, if you're giving honest and sincere appreciation, that person is probably already feeling, oh, I told them I was going to have 20 people here and 2 people showed up. Thank you for hosting the class. 2 people showed up. That's great. Even whether somebody signed up or not, they still withheld what they said, or what's the term I'm looking for? They still held their end of the bargain, so to speak. So thank them for that and show your appreciation, because they're going to remember that next time that you would like them to host a class or to attend a class.
And then along with that too, remember we're still doing that. Every single class that you have booked for this month, you get 3 people to invite their 50. So 3 people to invite 50. Show them appreciation when they invite those 50. Show them appreciation even if they only invite 10. You know, it happens. But again, I appreciate you, because again, that's 10 more people that weren't on your list, or 10 more people that you didn't have. So you want to just show genuine appreciation, okay? So the third one, and the third point and final point, arouse in the other person an eager want. To get what we want from another person, we must forget our own perspective and begin to see things from the point of view of others. When we can combine our desires with their wants, they become eager to work with us, and we can mutually achieve our objectives. So I love this one too, because again, and we kind of already said this, but help other people get what they want and what they need, and it will push you to what you're looking for.
I say even think about your customer base, because a lot of times, because Young Living is known primarily as an oil-based company, that's all that we lead with. And I know that's funny that even people have bought. I remember one person specifically. She bought a kit, and she was like, "I don't really care about the oils. I want the supplements." But she bought the kit because she wanted to reduce price on the supplements, so she bought the kit anyway. And when I contacted her, I said, "Hey, did you ever end up using your oils?" She was like, "Nope, I ordered my supplements." But it was because the supplements is what she wanted. So that's what we honed in on. So and to the same extent, even when you're talking to people, they may not be interested in the oils specifically. Are they interested in the opportunity to make more money? Are they interested in the opportunities to be surrounded by like-minded individuals who have health and wellness in the forefront of their mind? Those things can only be determined by having sincere conversation with the person and looking at their needs and finding a way to fill their needs.
And that's another thing in the Vital 180 training I do like. There's a section, I believe in the Senior Star section, where it talks about deciphering between a business builder and deciphering between a customer. So again, they're going to have completely different needs, right? So those that are on these team calls, those that are in our group for business builders, these are people that want to either supplement an income, they want to pay for their oils, they're trying to have some money coming in, however or wherever that destination is going to be. Whereas we also have videos that are strictly going to be about like healthy living and wellness. So those people that are just customers, they just want to learn, they want to know more about the supplements, they want to learn more about the makeup, they want to learn more. They have groups for that, so make sure your people are plugged into those things. So do you have somebody in your team that, is into, natural skincare and is concerned about makeup and stuff? Have you added them to the Savvy and Skincare Makeup group that I host? Now, you might not really care about makeup. That might not be for you. But do you know the people in your downline? Do you know what their needs are? And could that be something that they would benefit from and that would help you? Also, there might be ones that, again, they're like, you know what, I'm just really into my weight management. I just really want to live a healthier lifestyle. So again, all of our videos from Health Talk with the Moms, each month, in the beginning of the month, that we're going to do those chats. So do we plug people into those chats? And then on our YouTube channel, you can upload those. You can send them out. Send them to whoever might benefit from that information. So filling their needs, filling and seeing what they're going to most benefit from. And the only way we do that is to really get to know our teams. We have to be making sure that we're scheduling times to care call and really personally know these people.
And so within that pattern of thought or thought pattern, that's why it's so important that we're not pushing our own agenda. Because once again, the topic that we're talking about is kind of utilizing your circle of influence to the best that you can. And so I remember taking a class on leadership principles, and some of the things that we mentioned here were part of that class. But ultimately, we're not here to manage people. If someone is a business builder and they want to run their business a different way, that's perfectly okay. There's already a tried and true system to run this business, and they're going to find that on their own, but you support them the best way that you can. Because once they see that you actually care and have their needs first, then they might be like, okay, now it's time for me to actually listen. You have some people that are like that. So it's very important that even if they're a customer, that there are ways that we can turn like a customer into a potential business builder. And you could take a product lover and help them and say something to them to this extent. Hey, you love the products, oils, or I would like to get more, but I just can't afford it. Then you could have them host a class. That's when I bring that to their attention, because if you host a class and I break it down to them, let's say 3 people bought a kit, then you got your money back for your kit. That now pays for your next month's order. And so usually when a person is starting to get things for free, maybe that fear of loss actually motivates them. Maybe they're that type of person. But then you're going to see some duplication on your efforts. Yeah. So it's very important that, you have some type of rapport with your network, because that's really what's going to motivate them to do anything.
And it's so simple. And I will say, even in my own team, even with you guys, like seeing when you're booking the classes, when we're inviting with ample time to get people there, we have great results. People come, people buy kits. When we're out there promoting, I know I've had a few leaders that have, made little goodie bags, left in places at work, boom, signed up people. Like, it works if we work the system. So again, everybody has to find their little niche or whatever works for them. But there's concrete things that you have to do. You have to set up one-on-ones. You have to have classes. You have to follow up with people.
You have to follow up. Fortune is in the follow-up. So I think we should give a little homework assignment. If you have not done it, this is what I would suggest. For those that have a game plan, go through your game plan workbook, and there's a chapter that's on when you have your first class. I think it's chapter 6. But go through that chapter and check off those things. So make your list, plan your class. If you're doing it on Facebook, make sure you make your event and add people to the event. Reach out to those within your network to add people to the event and send them a quick message, or have them send their people a quick message that says, hey, I thought about you, that you might enjoy this. Take a look at this event. Finish that portion, because that's really what's going to start your business and get you some fire underneath your business. I know I was just talking to one of our members who signed somebody up a couple days ago, and I just congratulated her. I thought they were in the same state, but actually this was a person that she knew from another state. So, your circle of influence doesn't have to be people that stay in your immediate radius. Now with social networking and, just the way that communication has changed, think about people that maybe even stay out of state. The internet still exists. You can still utilize the tools. Vital 180 has some great tools that you can use to share with them. to get them information as well. So don't forget about those people as well.
So now I just want to talk about promos. So again, we know that August is the month of promotion. So I want everybody to win something this month. Everybody's going to get something. So we already did our first drawing. So we had the Ninja sachets, the Ninja Nitros, and the Ninja Zings. So I'm super excited because 2 people from our team actually won that. So big ups to Laverne and Rosa, who are on Nikki's team. Whoop, whoop. Go ahead, Nikki. And I believe they were enrolled by Carlita. So super excited for that team because that's awesome. Both of them actually end up winning in the drawing. So remember, though, if you have already placed your orders, you are still in the drawing, and the next drawing is going to be on September 2nd, I believe it is. So all you have to do is make sure you place those orders before the end of the month. Depending on how much your order is, of course, you get more entries into that drawing. So this is something you really, really want to keep pushing to your teams. Just communicate with them. Simply send a text to every single person you have personally enrolled. Let them know, hey, if you just spend 50, boom, you get 1 placement in that that drawing. If you do 50 on ER, boom, that's 2. 100 on ER, not only do you get a free oil, but you also get 3 entries or whatever it is specifically. But send that graphic. Send the graphic of what they can win. That carrying case for this next drawing is so super, super cute. And I have right here the oils that are in there. So you get grapefruit vitality, you get spearmint vitality, orange vitality, lime and lemon vitality. So great for some good cooking. So you're really, really going to want to be in those drawings and win some great prizes. And the only way your team is going to know these things, again, we've sent out emails, notified everybody, but the only way they're going to know is if you personally reach out to them. It only takes maybe 5 minutes to go through your list. Individually, I wouldn't necessarily do it in a group text because people don't like group texts, but individually, send it to everyone. Hey, girl, I just wanted to make sure you saw this awesome promotion going on just, August, September, October. If you place your order before the end of the month, I know you're running out of some oils. I know you were saying you wanted to try the pain cream or whatever else. Again, you've been talking to them. Place that order, get it in, and boom, you can be in the drawing to win all of these amazing Vitality oils plus an awesome carrying case. Here's a picture of it. This is what it looks like. And if you need the picture, I can send you the picture as well. But again, that's an awesome promo going on. Also, this little beauty, do you guys see the diffuser next to us? How cute is that?
Are we going to talk about that contest?
Yes, we are.
So are we limiting this to our team specifically?
It's to our team.
To our downline?
Yeah, it's only to our team.
Okay. Can I explain this one?
Sure.
Okay. So for the month of August, let's see, today is the 13th. So throughout the rest of the month, if you move up 1 rank, so if you are a star, if you've been a star last month, and this month you move up to senior star, if you were a senior star last month and you hit executive, if you rank up, you will receive from us as a personal gift a Desert Mist diffuser.
Yep, for free. Boom, that's it. And it comes with 2 oils, I believe, tangerine and peppermint.
Yep.
I think. Yep. So you get 2 oils with that too.
So I don't want to say it's unfair for those who haven't ranked yet and they hit star, but I mean, I was a person who hadn't ranked yet, and all I needed to do was get to star. I'd get on it because I feel like that's probably a lot easier. So I don't know how many of the Desert Mist diffusers we're going to end up giving out.
Right. But with duplication, though, honestly, it's just about you have to just get it. Like even with a senior star, so all that is let's get with, what is it, 4 people to star.
What were the numbers? So 35 to 40 people on your team. So if you have 4, let's say you have 4 people, that's 10 apiece, not even including yourself.
Right. So again, so you lock arms with 4 people. So do your 2 classes. Hey, these 2 people for this class, invite your people, help them get to star, right? Because we're helping people get what they want first. They get to star. They pay for all of their oils or whatever, they need. You help 2 more people get to star. Again.
Actually, I just did the math and I didn't write it down. That's just, helping 4 people hit star. So if the average, let's see, the kit, the premium starter kit is 100 PV. So that's, if each person helps, to sell 5 kits. So would get you to senior star. But that's starting from, from the bottom.
Yeah.
So.
And there's there's people that went silver in a month. 1 month, they bought their kit at the beginning of the month, and they went silver by the end of the month. It's possible.
Here's the funny thing, and then we got to end the call because we're going to get over time. So when we went to convention, one of the classes that I sat in was I hit silver in 31 days. And so I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to be like some type of secret, formula that they had that they were able to go hit silver in 31 days. And it ended up being this actually pretty interesting story because the woman that taught the class, she actually didn't speak English. She spoke, was it Mandarin, I think? And she actually grew her business in China, but she didn't even know she had a business. Like, she honestly, it was her telling her story of she didn't even know she was doing Young Living. She just kept telling people about the oils and the products, and she kept hosting parties. Like, because classes were not her thing. She didn't know anything. She just hosted parties where people came over, they ate food and drank, and they just messed around with the oils. And people kept asking, well, how do I get one? And she said, oh, this is where you sign up. And she hit silver in 31 days. And her upline leader, she outranked her upline leader, who was executive at the time, had called her and said, did you know you hit silver? And she didn't even know what silver was.
She's like, I don't even know what that means.
So I say that to say, like, don't overcomplicate it. Have fun. If you're the type of person that needs to have fun, like I am, then have fun with your business. If you're more comfortable with teaching a class, teach a class. If you're more comfortable one-on-one, do one-on-ones. But don't overcomplicate it, because here, we call it ignorance on fire. Like I said, this woman didn't even know that she was doing a business and hit silver. So we encourage all, if you would like this Desert Mist diffuser
for free,
which we've had for a few days, and we actually absolutely do love it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite one so far. But all right, guys. So remember the 18th, we do have our Business Builders event that will be on Friday at 6:30, and then at the spa. And then the last 2 classes that we are personally booking, and you are welcome to invite people as well, is going to be the 25th and then the 27th. So that's a Friday and a Sunday. It's 6:30 p.m. and then 4:30 p.m. And those will be our classes that we're doing. But again, if you don't have things scheduled, make sure you're plugging people into those classes.
So that first Friday, which is this coming Friday, is for business building. Those other 2 classes are intro to oil classes. So, all
right, guys.
And we look forward to talking to everybody next week.
Bye.
Until then, stay healthy.